It was a sunny afternoon in Willow Creek Estates, the kind of day where kids chased fireflies and neighbors swapped small talk over picket fences. But beneath the polished lawns and pristine sidewalks, something ugly festered. My daughter, Lily, 7 years old and bound to a wheelchair by a cruel twist of muscular dystrophy, was about to become the target of a woman who ruled our neighborhood like a tyrant. Helen Whitaker, the HOA president with a smile as sharp as a blade. We'd only been in Willow Creek a month, drawn by its top-notch schools and promises of a tight-knit community. After losing my wife, Sarah, to cancer 2 years prior, it was just me, DeVYD Carter, and Lily against the world. We poured every penny of Sarah's life insurance into this fresh start, hoping for a place where Lily could thrive. But Helen had other plans. First, she complained about the ramp we'd built for Lily's wheelchair, calling it an eyesore. Then came a violation notice about my adaptive van parked in the driveway, never mind that our garage was too small. The third blow came at the community park, where Lily, struggling with her trembling hands, dropped her ice cream cone. What a mess! Helen's voice sliced through the park, her designer heels clicking as she loomed over Lily. This is why I fought against loosening our accessibility rules. Unsuper VY said children, like her, create hazards. Lily's blue eyes filled with tears, her whispered, "I'm sorry," barely audible. I rushed over from the water fountain, my heart pounding. "She's not unsuper," VY said. I said, forcing calm into my voice. I was 20 feet away. Kids drop things. It happens. Helen's eyes narrowed behind her sunglasses. Not in Willow Creek. We have standards, Mr. Carter. The other parents watched, their faces a mix of unease and curiosity, but no one spoke up. I crouched beside Lily, wiping her tears. "It's okay, sweetheart. Accidents happen." Helen scoffed, her manicured nails tapping her clipboard. "Negligence, not accidents. This path was power-washed yesterday at great expense." I cleaned up the ice cream, biting back my anger as Helen strutted away, muttering, "This is what happens when we make exceptions for every sob story." Lily's face crumpled. "I'm sorry I'm trouble, Daddy," she whispered. My heart shattered. "You're never trouble," I told her fiercely. "Some people just forget how to be kind." 3 days later, the Willow Creek summer picnic promised a chance to reset. The glossy HOA handbook had hyped it as the neighborhood's crown jewel, a day of food, laughter, and community. Lily was nervous after the park incident, but her therapist urged us to go, and I refused to let Helen isolate us. "We'll stay an hour," I promised, easing Lily into her wheelchair. "If it's no fun, we're gone." The community center lawn sparkled with twinkling lights and a buffet stretching across the patio. Lily's eyes lit up at an accessible table set just right for her chair. Maybe I thought this place wasn't all bad. We filled her plate with soft pasta, cut fruit, and a slice of chocolate cake that made her grin. But as we settled in, Helen appeared, microphone in hand, her navy dress emblazoned with the HOA logo. "Welcome to our 27th annual picnic," she boomed. What followed was a 15-minute lecture on community standards, each word a veiled jab at us. Ramps needed approval. Adaptive vehicles couldn't skirt parking rules. Kids shouldn't make messes. Lily sank lower in her chair, her joy fading. Neighbors glanced our way, uncomfortable but silent. Then a woman with curly auburn hair approached. "Don't mind Helen," she said warmly. "Most of us aren't like her. I'm Emily Lawson, 3 doors down." I shook her hand, grateful. "DeVYD Carter, and this is Lily." Emily chatted with Lily about her favorite books, and soon her daughter, Sophie, invited Lily to watch the Firefly release at sunset. For the first time, I felt a spark of hope. Emily leaned in quietly. "Some of us on the committee are worried about Helen's leadership. If she's caused you trouble, I'd like to know." I hesitated, torn between speaking out and protecting Lily from more conflict. When Lily's plate emptied, I offered to grab more cake. Emily volunteered to watch her. At the dessert table, I overheard Helen ranting to a board member. "These accommodations are inappropriate. Property values will tank. If we allow this next, it'll be group homes." The man shifted uncomfortably. "It's just reasonable adjustments for a disabled kid." Helen snapped. Disabled is just a fancy word for special treatment. My kids never needed ramps or exceptions. I grabbed the cake, my knuckles white, torn between confronting her and shielding Lily. Back at the table, Emily was gone, and Helen stood over Lily. A new plate sat before my daughter, not the one I prepared. It was piled with filth, food scraps, half-eaten scraps from discarded plates, dusted with what looked like cigarette ash. Lily sat frozen, tears streaming down her face. "What's going on?" I demanded, setting down the cake. Helen's smile was venomous. "Just enforcing standards, Mr. Carter. Your daughter made a mess, so I gave her food more suited to her capabilities." She raised her voice, ensuring nearby tables heard. "Children with special needs should be grateful for anything they get. We don't waste resources on those who can't appreciate them." Rage blinded me, the world narrowing to a pinpoint. Before I could speak, Emily stormed back, her face pale, then crimson. "What is this?" she demanded, staring at the plate. "A lesson in gratitude," Helen replied smugly. "She wasted a good meal, so I dead an alternative." Emily's hands shook as she snatched the plate and held it high. "Everyone," she shouted, her voice cutting through the picnic's hum. "I need your attention." Heads turned, conversations died. My stomach churned. I didn't want Lily to be a spectacle. Helen Whitaker, our HOA president, took literal garbage, and put it in front of a disabled 7-year-old, telling her it's all she deserves. Emily's voice trembled with fury. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Parents clutched their kids, faces twisting in horror. "That's not what happened," Helen protested, her confidence cracking. "I was teaching her about waste." An elderly man nearby stood. I heard every word. "Disgraceful." Robert Kim, the HOA president, stepped forward, his voice stern. "Helen, did you serve this child discarded food?" Helen faltered. "It was a lesson. This family's been trouble since they moved in, demanding special treatment." A silver-haired woman joined in, her voice dripping with disgust. "By forcing a child to eat garbage? That's not CIVY list." The crowd's anger surged, a wave of outrage I hadn't expected. Robert called an emergency board meeting right there on the lawn. Neighbors I'd never met shared stories of Helen's bullying targeting minorities, the elderly, anyone who didn't fit her shown of Willow Creek. I held Lily close, shielding her from the chaos, while Sophie offered her a fresh slice of cake, a small act of kindness that broke my heart anew. The meeting ended with Helen's suspension, pending a full re-VYEW. She stormed off, threatening lawsuits and muttering about property values. Days later, MOVYing truck appeared at her house. Rumors swirled. Multiple discrimination complaints, backed by sworn statements, had sealed her fate. Audits revealed she'd funneled fines to vulnerable residents while sparing her allies. Emily was named the new HOA president, her first act forming an inclusion committee to ensure Willow Creek welcomed everyone. The neighborhood transformed. Neighbors who'd once avoided us now stopped by with playdate offers and casseroles. The board fast-tracked accessibility upgrades for our home. Lily, once shadowed by anxiety, began to bloom, her smile brighter with each new friend. 6 months later, Willow Creek hosted its first accessibility awareness fair. Lily, now brimming with confidence, led kids through games showing what it's like to navigate in a wheelchair. That night, as I tucked her in, she asked, "Daddy, do you think Miss Helen ever understood why she was wrong?" I paused, choosing my words. "I don't know, sweetheart. Some people care more about rules than kindness." Lily nodded, thoughtful. "I am glad we stayed. If we left, maybe the next kid like me would have been treated bad too." Her words hit me hard. At 7, she'd grasped what Helen never did. Standing against cruelty doesn't just protect, it carves a path for others. That plate of filth, meant to break Lily, had instead broken open our community's heart, showing what it truly means to belong. What do you think? Did Helen deserve a chance to redeem herself, or was her punishment too lenient? Should the community have acted sooner, or was the picnic the only way to expose her? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button if this story moved you, and subscribe for more stories of justice and redemption.